is here and the check is in the mail.
I only drink 151 from passion. No Chris.
Welcome to the gig, you late for work.
All right, the microphone works.
That's a plus.
Let me tell you what's the matter with me. I just finally got to eat for the first time today, so I'm in a rush.
Do we have to start starting later to accommodate sundown?
No, we'll be good.
Okay.
I'm Xavier Exhausted, but today just call me X.
Gotcha.
That's my partner, as we told you last week. He's Crises the mathematician. And our special guest is Robert Irvine's Fit Crunch today.
Nice.
I'll tell you what, big recommendation for old Bobby Irvine's Fit Crunch bars.
Yeah.
Solid amount of protein.
Okay.
190 calories. Tastes like you're eating some sort of Reese's bar of sorts.
All right. Whenever you can pull that off with the high protein and the low sugar, you're doing good for yourself.
I don't know that we're low sugar. Let's check
At
real quick.
190 calories, you're not going to be that crazy.
2 grams of added sugar.
Yeah.
It's not terrible.
Nah,
All right.
you're living.
Feels really intergalactic on the beat right here, Bo.
All right.
I like it. It's mellow. This is real chill hop vibes.
All right, I'm with it. I can take chill hop vibes. I don't mind that.
This seems like I go to sleep to chill hop the station on occasion.
I put it on to calm my dog.
Can we send this to chill hop?
You know I will send these beats wherever you want me
I know
to send
you will.
them. I do not care. Somebody's got to notice besides the 6 of us.
As you can see, today's episode is about fully submerging a dirt bike underwater.
Right, because that's what you do with a dirt bike.
So we'll just get right into the mix with it. This is what I hate. I've noticed everybody who has a YouTube channel
Right,
tells you this, and today we're
Right.
this, that, and the third.
Let's
And
get at it. right,
Let's get into it.
right.
Let's get into it. We need one of those.
Yeah, you need your own. Well, you want a sound bit, or you need we just need our own this is what it means that we're starting the show now.
Like a real goofball saying, let's get into it.
They all do it, but like what Adam Carolla's is, let's get it on, time to get it on.
Yeah. That's whack too.
It absolutely is, but he doesn't. He embraces how cornball he is.
Adam Carolla used to be a carpenter.
Yes, he was a contractor. And then he had a whole show. Did you ever watch his show?
No.
To Catch a Contractor?
No.
He would go around, people would bring him in on contractor jobs that were either half-assed or unfinished.
Yeah.
And then he would track down the contractor and basically put him on blast on TV to get him to either come and fix their work or just stop being contractors altogether.
Well,
It was on Spike. It would come on after Bar Rescue or whatever.
as it turns out, this week Adam Carolla might be hiding in the shadows of my job site. I'm not really sure, but it gives me hope.
Okay.
When I have weeks like this where I say to myself, why am I doing this? And what else can I do that is not being a contractor?
Right.
I think of guys like Adam Carolla, who at some point later in life,
Yeah.
he found success elsewhere and could put down his tool belt. And that's really all I'm looking to do.
And
push comes to shove.
And he basically, I don't want to say he fell into it, but much like same with Anthony from Opie and Anthony, basically calling a radio show and being funny on the radio show.
Yeah.
Suddenly got him sucked upstream, and now he is who he is.
Now he's a guy.
Right.
Well, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Let's get it on.
So we're trying to be dirt bike forward.
Yeah.
These past few weeks, and
Definitely.
maybe these few weeks going in front of us. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. But I had a dirt bike for about a month before it really ever touched serious dirt.
Has it even been that long?
Yeah, it's been about a month.
All right.
The boys called me last week one day.
Okay.
Yo, we're going We're going riding. Me and my buddy. You want to come with us?
All right.
So here comes a 690 pulls up to the house, a KTM 690, and a CRF 450. And here I am on my little
tricycle.
entry-level dirt bike. My little entry-level
training
300.
wheels.
Yeah. And they're like, you lead the way. I'm like, I don't want to. No, I don't want to lead the way. Because here's the thing. I'd rather let you guys set the pace and not catch up to you than me set the pace.
And you guys have to keep laying it back into first gear.
And you guys be behind me.
You're just going to be the little brother with the disconnected controller, pretend like he's playing the game too.
That's what I am. But they're both solid dudes. They're like, nah, it's good, dude. We don't care. We're just happy to be riding. They say that.
Yeah.
I believe them sometimes.
Like 50-50 they mean it, though.
But also, we get to the woods in Pine Hill, right? Pine Hill is notorious New Jersey dirt bike power sports haven.
Okay.
Every kid I know who grew up in Pine Hill, if he didn't have a dirt bike or a quad, his neighbor or cousin did who lived down the block.
Somebody had one to spot him up.
There's a very stereotypical Pine Hill kid.
Okay.
Who we ran into as we were back on the Pine Hill trails, right?
Okay.
But this is the first time that I get into some serious mix of some dirt. Berms, whoop sections, jumps, everything I've been back in this section of woods on foot with my daughter and my wife, like hiking. Like, hey, let's go for a hike.
Okay.
I didn't realize it must be 10 square miles of trails with jumps and, rhythm sections. And there's a sand pit with 30-foot jumps. It's crazy.
They got it laid out back there.
It's wild. We're tearing through, and my bike has half and half. 50% on-road tire, 50% off-road tire on it, right?
Okay. It's a different front and back, or just
no.
side by
That's
side?
what they're rated.
Oh, okay.
That's what they're rated, 50-50.
Okay.
They're more like 70% on-road, 4% off-road, these tires.
Right.
Because it's getting squirrely. And these guys are trying to give me tips. They're like, sit back on the bike, try and stand up through everything.
Right.
Treat it like a snowmobile.
Okay.
Your front wheel is a ski. Don't try and turn. You got to treat it as such. I'm like, okay, I have no idea what that means because I've never rode a snowmobile, but I'll pretend.
You're not really controlling with your front tire. You're kind of just out there to kind of hold you along the trail.
Yeah, which takes away your steering.
Right.
So it makes things a little bit more difficult.
A little squirrely, as you said.
We're tearing down this trail, and I'm getting stuck in some sections, but I'm working through it, and I get out of it, right? We get to this wide, fire road that's running alongside these power lines.
Okay.
Big enough that you could drive your truck down this side road. And as we're coming down, we hit these... It just rained the day before, so we're hitting these puddles that are the width of this fire road, but they're only 4 inches deep, right?
Okay.
So we stopped at the first two to kind of look at them and go, we get through this, and we power, throttle through it, whatever. So now I'm leading the way, you lead. I'm like, okay, guys, we'll play this game. I'll lead, fine. And I get up, and I get it into third, because you kind of stay in second, or if you get to third, you're doing pretty good. I was doing pretty good getting to third.
Right, because there's not a lot of space to air it out. You're kind of just in turns
and
things like that.
And plus, nothing's flat, so I don't want to get too fast. I don't want to get it up too high because I don't know what's in front of me. I'm attacking things as they come.
Right.
Now, my buddy Jake on the KTM is eating everything up because he's got this 690 Adventure KTM that's made for this.
He's got 2 of your motors.
Yeah. He's just chewing trails up.
Right.
And CRF Mark, he's been riding for 20 years, so he has street tires on it, but he's still doing better than I'm doing because he's got the experience.
Right. He's got the wisdom.
I'm leading the way, and there's another puddle coming up, so I'm like, we're on the comms, and I'm like, yo, I'm going for it. And I hit the throttle to slide it through this puddle. Now, there was a slight hill down into the puddle where my front tire sticks dead into the mud, right?
Okay.
So this was not the 3 or 4 inch puddle that we had previously crossed. This thing was about 18 inches.
Okay.
Front tire hits the mud. I go flipping head over heels over the bars. Boom! and splash right into about 1.5 feet worth of water.
Sure.
And I hop up because I'm like, my first thought is my bike's going under.
Right.
I turn and look. The only thing that's poking up from my bike is the kill switch.
Oh.
Everything else is fully submerged underneath of this 18 to 2 foot puddle.
Okay.
I reach over, I scramble over for the kill switch, and I'm trying to pick it up. Now, at the same time, these guys are on the headset like, yo, are you all right?
Don't worry about me.
To which I start laughing.
Right.
Right? Because what else am I going to do? Because now inside of my helmet, there's water pouring out. I got mud. It's a mud pit, dude. I am fully covered in mud.
Are you sinking?
Head
Are you,
to toe.
Sinking into the mud like quicksand?
I may have been. I can't remember because now I'm trying to scurry to get my bike up.
Right.
Right? Because I don't want my bike's fully underwater. I'm like, I'm worried about it.
Yeah, well, yeah. You haven't paid it off yet.
Right. I hit the kill switch. It's off. And they're like, oh, don't, you're good. It happens to the best of us. I'm like, my bike, man. Forget the mud. Get my bike up.
Right. Don't let it suck into any water.
It's got one bar stuck down into the sand. The other bar is just poking up above water enough to hit my kill switch. So I'm wiggling it out, trying to get it out of the water. It was submerged for about a minute.
Okay.
Give or take. But that seems like way too long to put an engine and electrical system underwater to me.
Oh, especially a running engine. It just feels like you're just going to be sucking up water and blowing it through your pistons.
As far as I can remember, right, my pipe is underneath water. My exhaust pipe is underwater. The whole thing. So I finally get it up, and I just kind of stand there in the puddle. Right? Where they're like, dude, are you all right?
Just
like,
defeated wet boots.
I'm just laughing. I'm like, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? Did you guys see it?
Did you get video of that?
Yeah, did you see it? He's like, yeah, so all I heard you say was I'm going for it, and then I see you flying through the air. I'm like, yeah, I thought I had it, man. They're like, yeah, you're lucky you weren't doing like 60 because that would have been a problem.
Tossed you, yeah.
It did too. It tossed me, but it would have been a real problem if I was going faster.
That's collarbone issues.
So I get my bike out, I push it out of the puddle the best I can. Mark kind of half hops in. He's kind of on the side of the puddle trying to not get muddy, which I don't blame him. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
There's no reason for us both to have drippy boots.
No.
We get it pushed out of the puddle, and I go to start it, and it just goes, I'm like, no. My whole life flashes before my eyes. This is not an expensive dirt bike, but if you add the exorbitant amount of APR that they put on, it's getting up into 5 figures.
2.5 bikes.
Yeah, it is. It's 2 bikes with the APR. This is 3 used bikes with the APR.
Right.
My whole it flashes before my eyes like, no, my freaking bike. What am I gonna do? I'm only
put it in rice.
What? That's a good idea. Put it in a rice field.
Just put it in a field of rice and let it sit for a day.
Put it in a rice paddy.
I think that's more water.
Submerge it again underwater, but as long as there's rice in the water, it's good. So I'm a fly-by-night dirt bike mechanic.
Right.
We know I'm new to this. I could do things like take off the cap, the tube to fill up your air. Yeah. I could do
put gas in it.
Yeah, I can put gas in it.
Guy doesn't bother you too much.
I know how to turn the lights on.
Right.
And I can almost change the light bulb. Last time I did it, it didn't work, but...
You're already having to change light bulbs? Are you rattling it around? Or?
No, I upgraded it.
Oh, okay.
It comes with
a xenon in there?
It comes with a standard bulb. I put a LED in there.
Okay.
Because Sparky told me...
Brightness.
Yeah, he kept getting it at me about putting a LED...
Safety first.
It's the first thing you need to do is put a LED in. So I finally put a LED
there you
in.
go.
I get it out, and I'm trying to start it up, and I'm like, no! CRF Mark goes, why don't you turn the key off and try it again?
Right.
And I'm like, oh. And it dawned on me, every time that I drop my bike, it does this. It's like some kind of safety feature.
Like it cuts the fuel line so
probably,
that it doesn't
right.
like burn up or whatever.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, yeah, right. So I click it, turn the ignition, turn it back on. Starts right up, dude.
Good.
Fires right up strong as it could be.
That sense of relief is just wonderful, right?
I was like, because I'm thinking like, You can't put an entire running dirt bike underwater and then expect it to come out on top.
No.
But you can.
It can't be the plan. You can luck out, but it can't be the plan.
At least if it's a KLX 300, you can.
Okay.
You're allowed to fully. Your KLX 300 is also a submarine.
Well, they know it's a rookie bike, so it's got to be able to be more durable than the big boy bikes.
So we keep riding. I'm like, okay, let's keep moving. It's dirt day, baby.
Yeah.
They're laughing at me. They're like, "You good?" I'm good. I'm glad that you guys got to see some entertainment here because I'm not entertaining you by holding the lead.
Right.
You know what I mean? At least if I'm crashing, you guys are getting a kick out of it.
You got
you
something
know?
to chuckle about. So what? You guys were out on Sunday after the tornadoes?
No,
Okay.
but I was out again on Sunday.
Okay.
This was like midweek last week.
Okay.
So we keep riding through these trails are endless, it seems like, out in Pine Hill. And we come across this sand pit that looks like an X game. Literally. This is not an exaggeration.
No, I believe you.
This looks like an X Games course, like a moto long jump course.
Okay.
There's some jumps, they're doubles that must have 20 to 30 feet between them. There's one double that, it's not even a double. It's a single jump, a ramp. They built it up with dirt. Somehow they got a slab of concrete on top of it. So it's just a slab of concrete
Was
laid
it like
on.
flatten out, like you can come up there and land on it?
Listen, it's a slab of concrete on top of about 7 to 8 foot of dirt pile.
Okay. Like a tabletop, right?
No,
Okay.
the slab is the same angle as the jump.
Oh, okay.
So the dirt's piled like this. They just dropped the slab on top as
All right.
like a launch pad.
So you can get some more grip on your way up into the air.
Maybe, because on the other side of that jump, the hill drops down a good 30 feet.
Okay.
So somebody is flying off of this thing and not only going 30 feet in the air,
Right.
but then coming an extra 30 feet down for a total of like a 60-foot jump.
Right.
I don't know who's doing it, but God bless them. They got their nuts are the size of something that has big nuts.
Right.
Gorilla nuts.
Like large nuts, yeah.
Very large nuts, like macadamias.
Right. Walnuts.
Coconut.
Right. Oh, yeah, those two.
2 coconuts in your sack. So, now, keep in mind that there's and maybe do you know the stereotypical Pine Hill guy?
In my mind, the stereotypical Pine Hill guy just owns a whole bunch of whatever it's called, real camo. And they're the same stereotypical Millville guy.
Yeah, they're very close to that.
They're the stereotypical, what is it right on the way down the shore besides that?
Buna.
Buna's a good one.
Yeah.
Anywhere that your expectation is that their main hobby is some level of hunting and or fishing.
Yeah, so I think that you're right there to some extent. That's the 30-plus stereotypical Pine Hill guy.
Okay, a little bit older.
If they're the 30 and under Pine Hill guys,
Right.
usually they got dirty blonde hair
Okay.
with a dirty beard,
And wraparound sunglasses.
dirty little mustache, heavy wigger action.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that backwoods it goes hand in hand.
Yeah. Bad teeth,
Uh-huh.
you know?
Well, yeah.
Worse than my teeth.
Yeah.
Bad grills out in Pine Hill.
7 points of contact is the rule out there.
Dusty sneaks and a dusty clapped out dirt bike.
Mm-hmm.
It's a clapped out dirt bike is a necessary part of the Pine Hill uniform.
It's definitely functional, but it definitely got 30, 40 years
And
under it.
they ride it like it's a rented mule.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like those Pine Hill boys, if they do nothing else, they mostly know how to ride.
Yeah.
Right? So
They put the wrench time in. They're going to ride it like it's theirs.
So we run into this guy, Victor Coco. What's happening, player? I want to talk about Victor Coco briefly a little later.
Okay.
Or should I interject now?
No.
I just want to say this.
Finish up here. We'll move out of Pine Hill, and then we'll move over to Victor's part of the world.
I don't even know what Victor's part of the world is. I
Well,
think
we know
he's from
been
out here somewhere.
He's been in the area in the past. That's as much as we know.
Yeah. So we run into this guy who's got a clapped out YZ250 with street tires on it.
Okay.
And he's riding it like it has the biggest knobby dirt tires you ever seen. I don't know how he's doing it. I have no idea how he's doing this.
It's a combination of practice, guts, and just flat out knowing, like, all right, if this bike goes to shit today, I lost $9, and I will just
Right,
get another
right.
one next week.
And
He's not paying for 2.5 bikes while he's paying for his bike.
also, stereotypically, you can imagine that a Pine Hill kid is not a joint smoker.
No.
He cracked open some sort of, I don't know if it was a Philly, a white, I don't know what kind of cigar this was,
Right.
but he's posting on his bike, cracking a blunt, dumps the guts, and twists up an L in the air, sitting on his 250.
All right.
Very Pine Hill.
Yeah.
I reminisce to days of guys like Snipe 100 and J Dot. I don't know if they've ever rode, but I wouldn't be surprised to find
This
out
is
that
what it would
those
look
guys, I wouldn't be surprised to find out those guys grew up riding. We talked to him for a little bit about different spots that are around. He's like, oh, there's they got the John up there. You know what I mean? The John's up there. And we're trying to figure out what the John is that he's talking about.
Just jotting down words.
Eventually, we decipher that the John is like where they hang out, whatever this John is.
Okay.
And we slide up the hill, right?
All right.
Bro, these guys got the setup out there. Zoo Jersey, blue ball. Victor has blue balls right now. I'm sorry to hear that,
And they're
Victor.
anchored down somewhere.
Anchored down blue balls. Sorry, buddy. It'll get better.
It's hefty.
Yeah. So we ride up to the John uphill. The best feeling on a dirt bike is going uphill.
Yeah.
It's just because it naturally, it's the physics of it don't make sense.
That's the one, like, not that it's the same thing, I understand, but like if you're on a BMX bike going downhill, you're on a motocross bike going downhill, that's just what gravity's telling you to do.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you can just crank your wrist and be going against the
And
laws
fly
of
up.
physics.
Yeah,
that's the one.
The physics don't make sense, which I think is why you don't get that feeling anywhere. That's not a
Right.
feeling that's matched anywhere in nature or really in life.
Right, because it's not you doing it either. Like,
Right.
like again, if you're on that BMX bike, you're pedaling your ass off to go up that hill. You're like, okay, I'm breaking my back. That's why this is happening.
Yeah, you're just hanging on.
Right.
You know?
You're hoping.
So we shred uphill, which I can go fast uphill.
Yeah.
I've got that down pretty good.
All right. Well, that's good. That's a start.
And we come in, we pull around the corner to a Pine Barren redneck haven, just a mirage in the middle of the trails, it seems.
Just big redneck oasis.
These guys took sticks from the woods, sticks and logs and twigs and berries,
Right.
and built a hut on a concrete slab that just happened to be there, right?
Stay out of your weather while you're working on your bike.
Built a hut. They got a grill in there. They got chairs everywhere. These dudes are set up to do business on a long Saturday afternoon. That's for sure.
All right.
It was sick, right? Dudes like,
their Gatorade buckets sitting there so you can get refills and everything.
I didn't notice the Gatorade buckets, but there was plenty of PBRs and Busch Lights spread about.
Cans of rain.
Yeah. That guy was probably a Pine Hill kid. The guy who was begging for energy drinks. These guys are set up to do business on a Saturday afternoon, and he told us, he was like, yeah, my boys are out there 12 deep on Saturday.
Right.
It's a hybrid urban country slang accent that I can't do.
They're all Bubba Sparks.
They are all Bubba Sparks. Dirty Bubba Sparkses. I haven't met a kid from Pine Hill that I didn't like.
No, because
But they're just a certain breed.
You're a country boy, so it goes right in. Like they're right in your atmosphere.
It may also look, none of them think they're country boys.
No.
So I might be a Pine Hill kid, dude.
Right, and you still know.
And I don't know it. That might be why I like them so much. My affinity for dirt bikes, the dirty mustache I got going
the
on.
kinship, yeah.
Yeah, I might be a Pine Hill guy without even really realizing it. I'm not far.
No,
Lindenwold and Pine Hill are practically brothers.
pretty much touch and turf. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather be Pine Hill than country.
Sure, that's what they say. That's what their bumper stickers say.
Yeah. He asked me, he was like, yo, I don't know, what's a Pine Hill kid like? Is he like more Gloucester City or more Sicklerville? And I said, well, he's kind of a hybrid of both.
Yeah.
He's right there in the middle of both of them.
Yeah.
So we check this joint out, whatever, we keep riding. And I'm like, I just want to go ride something where my tires grip. I want to get out of
Okay.
these sandy trails.
Right.
I know another spot.
Just want to feel stable.
Yeah, it's about 2 miles on the road, and then we could get to some other trails that I know are relatively flat trails, hard-packed dirt. Let's get there. So again, I'm leading the way. We get there, and it's exactly what, I'm saying.
It's what you wanted.
It's what I wanted. I love riding through the woods. I just don't like the sand because my bike's not built for it.
Right.
So the sand, I'm fighting against my bike the whole time.
Right.
I'd be fine fighting against my bike if my bike helped me out a little bit. Let's fight together.
You're not against the danger. You're against the lack of safety. They're like two different things. Like, you'll do dangerous things on the bike, but if the bike is equipped to do those dangerous things.
Yeah. If I had and I didn't realize this coming into the bike world.
Right.
And I wish I would have, because I think I would have bought a different bike.
Oh, altogether, not just a different set of tires or anything.
Well, the KLX Dual Sport, I bought the KLX Supermoto.
Okay.
I would have bought the KLX Dual Sport that comes with bigger rims and knobby tires.
Better equipped to be hybrid.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the Supermoto is hybrid leaning towards street.
Right.
The Dual Sport is hybrid leaning towards dirt.
60-40 the other way.
And I bought the bike because I want to be out in the woods.
Yeah. You ever go down to the dump down here and try to ride in the dump?
In Washington Township?
Is that what?
Deptford?
No, it's not that far. You're going too far.
Oh, the one over in by Ariel.
Yeah.
I haven't. Is there riding over there?
I don't know if there is or isn't, but I know there's a lot of nice, well-formed hills that are probably pretty sturdy and pretty not loosely sanded or anything.
I don't know that we'd be able to get behind that fence.
Right.
But
I'm sure there's a way in.
I'm sure there's riding over there.
Yeah.
So we head to this other spot. It's nice hard pack. It's flat, and it's single track, right? It's skinny. So I'm ripping through there. I'm like, oh, I like this. This is my kind of shit.
This is your speed.
Yeah. So we're riding. I start feeling myself a little bit, and I come up, and I go to make a right-hand turn, and there was some leaves, right? Because the woods. Mm-hmm. And my front tire, I don't know if I grabbed brake on my front tire or it just slid out because of the way that I turned. I go flying again. My knee smacks something. A root, a rock, I don't know what it was.
Something just small enough to get right in between everything.
It hit something hard. It wasn't something small.
I mean,
because I thought for a brief second that I shattered my kneecap.
Shattered the whole cap.
I'm doing this one on the ground, holding my knee on my back, wobbling back and forth, like.
Got the whole fucking patella.
You all right? I'm like, oh, I'll be all right.
Give me a couple hours.
They're like, all right, well, are you good? Are you good? I'm like, oh, I'll be it. So they pick my bike up. I'm rolling around on the ground for 2-3 minutes. I stand up. My knee gives out. I'm like, damn. Has an Evel Knievel poster made soon. That seems about right.
We'll replace the Saturday night poster.
Yeah, we'll put Evel Knievel back there. So
Evil Cove Knievel.
I smacked it. It takes me. I fall when I try and get up. I lean against the tree and I'm doing if maybe I could breathe it away thing.
Right. Lightly on the one leg.
I'm gripping it. I'm clutching it. I'm thinking to myself, it's probably over for me today. I'm going to have to let these guys keep riding. I'm going to have to call it a wrap.
This isn't how you expected the construction career to end, but here we are.
No, but at least it's ending.
Right.
However it comes that I have to quit construction, and so be it. Right now, dude, maybe I shouldn't say that.
No, let's not jinx ourselves.
Yeah. Let's not talk about the bone. We already said we're not going to talk about the bones.
Yeah.
No bone checks.
No, don't do 6 counts.
I'm walking it off. They're like, you can keep riding? I'm like, I don't know.
I'm not sure. It hurts so bad. I don't know if I'm going to be able to turn my wrist anymore.
The problem was I started feeling myself too much.
Right.
I was shredding through these trails, and I started feeling myself beyond my capabilities.
Because you went from the muddy, loose trail where you were kind of skittish to the trail that you could actually handle, and you're like, oh, right, I'm really good at this. It's just I got to be on the right turf.
I don't think I'm really good. I just was in a spot where I was like, oh, I'm doing good.
I got this.
I'm doing really good at
Right.
this, right?
And then you had to get checked. You got chin checked.
So I can't. To me, right? It's pride.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? The boys are riding. I can't lead the boys riding by themselves.
No.
Because
They need
who's
you to
gonna
lead 'em.
slow? Who's gonna slow them down if
Right.
I'm not
They're
there?
going to get out there and have all their fun. No,
These
no, no.
guys are going to be shredding and doing jumps and kicking up roosts all around the corners. It's going to be way too much fun if I'm not there to slow them down.
Exactly.
So my pride and ego kick in, and I go, nah, I'm still riding. I'm good. I got it. So we go ride, and I'm like, somebody else just lead, and if I drop back, whatever, we're in the same area. We got the comms on. It's all good.
Right.
As we're riding, we're coming down the trail this way. I look off to the right, and I see like a concrete dam, kind of like the trail drops down, and I could see the top of a dam, right?
Okay.
I'm like, well, we're not going that way, you know? We ride a little bit. We come back around towards where we crashed at, and we come back to the dam. And Jake, who's been riding for 25 years, goes, let's see what's over there. I'm like, okay. I just want to go see what it is. Let's not get hasty. He goes, I think I can make it across. It drops down 6 feet into a creek. There's a big brick square sewer inlet or something that's got to be 9 to 10 feet high.
Right.
Like, it's equal with the trail here, but when the trail drops down 8 feet, this thing
stays.
juts up 10 feet or so.
Right.
And then there's a creek. There's a couple of planks oddly shaped across the creek, and then another 6-foot incline on the other side. He goes,
It's all right there. That's no problem.
I could make it across.
Yeah.
He was like, what about you guys think you could get across there? I didn't say anything. Because I don't think that I can.
Right. But you're not going to say it out loud.
Nah. Mark's like, I could probably definitely walk it across. And I'm thinking like maybe I could walk it across.
Thank you for saying that, Mark.
Yeah, but it was so precarious that I thought maybe I can walk it across, right? Like, I don't even know that I could walk it across without getting stuck and having everybody have to lift my bike out of this gully.
You got the first motorbike with a tow hitch on it?
Mark goes, well, Jake, if you want to do it, you go first.
All right.
So Jake drops down in there, and it's not easy. He's having trouble.
Yeah.
But he also has a bike that's built for what they call hard enduro. This is hard enduro.
Okay.
Just abusing your bike and things that
Right.
bikes shouldn't be doing.
Right.
He winds up, after, it takes about 10 or 15 minutes for him to make it across there, right? He's hitting throttle, braking, shifting gears, rocking back and forth, trying to kick up a roost. He gets stuck.
He looks like he's rock climbing in a Jeep.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he was doing.
Yeah.
That's what hard enduro, at least a portion of hard enduro is that.
Right.
So he gets across, and we're like, yo, you're the hard enduro champ today. Now,
Come get your medal.
I look over there, because we had to help him with like the last 2 feet of it.
Right.
As we're over there, I look up, and there's a row of houses on, like, kind of off to the right. I'm like, it kind of looks like these trails dead end into somebody's backyard.
Okay.
Luckily, Mark was on board with me, and he goes, yeah, it kind of does, man. I don't even know that we need to get over here and ride. It looks like there's nothing to ride. Now, off to the left, there was a whole lot to ride. But no, I don't think I think Mark wanted the easy out on the hard enduro move, too. So now we got to get Jake's bike back across, which he does with no problem, dude. The guy looked like pro. I wish I would have, took a video of it. It would have been a great video to put up online. I say all of that to say we get home, hard enduro cove. No. Not yet. Although at some point, I would love to get an enduro bike and be hard enduro cove.
And learn the ways.
Be able to like take journeys out into Moab and do some old hard enduro work. It's sick, dude. Next time I come across one of the videos, I'll send it to you because it's insane the things that these guys are doing on dirt bikes.
I have no doubt.
I get home, right? And I go to hop in the tank. When I take my riding pants off, first off, I'm still covered head to toe. I got to squeeze out my pads inside of my helmet because they're soaked with mud still.
Right.
My second favorite pair of polo boots that I've donated to riding are now mud buckets.
Okay.
Head to toe. My riding jacket is soaked through, covered. I get home, I take off all my clothes at the door because I don't want mommy to yell at me.
No.
You know, she ain't having that.
Yeah, no.
And I look down at my knee, and it felt like I bashed my kneecap. But right above my knee, maybe about 2 inches above my kneecap, there's a red laceration about 6 inches from one side to the other.
Width, not depth, right?
Yeah, like
Okay. Like
across my knee.
You haven't like plunged a
No.
knife.
And I'm looking at it like, how? I don't even know how that got there. I felt my knee get smacked. I don't know what hit me above my knee to make
cut you.
that get me cut because the pants were still in one piece. The pants didn't cut through. Just my leg. It was so odd. So I walk it off. I limp it off for the next day. Today, this was last week. Today I was looking at my knee. This whole thing from about 1.5 inches above my knee to my kneecap all the way around my leg is purple and yellow bruised now.
Oh, okay.
Whatever I did, it wasn't good. I'm going to go buy some knee pads next paycheck that I get because it got a little bit squirrely there. What do we got? Oh, we're 50-50 for Hard Enduro Cove. I voted no, you voted yes, huh? Is that what's going on here?
I haven't voted yet, so Victor must have voted yes. Unless I accidentally hit it.
Speaking of Victor.
Yes, you wanted to.
Yeah.
Now here we are.
I just wanted to say we have to make sure that, time goes by and we don't say much about Victor. But we need to make sure that Victor knows that we're grateful.
Of course.
Because, CRF Mark just sent me something.
He's what the rappers would refer to as our day one. He's been here and he's here all the time and he's loyal and he interacts in the conversation and he occasionally brings topics to the table and everything. Like he's the prototypical fan that you want for your show.
Everyone, every video that goes up, Victor comments on it.
Yeah.
He's on everything. He's liking everything. And so, Mr. Coco, we just want to let you know that you are appreciated and we're glad that you're, out here pushing for the team to keep growing. That's all. What time we got here? All right. We're about 40 minutes in. That was a longer story than I planned on it being.
That's all right. We're slow rolling it tonight.
So Saturday night.
That was a wild one. I got Saturday covered all the wilds.
Why, did you do something wild Saturday, or you're talking about my Saturday?
I don't know about your Saturday. I know about my Saturday.
My Saturday, every guinea in a 1,000-mile radius of Atlantic City was at the Oceans Resort Casino on Saturday.
Okay. Is that the new guy? They don't go to the Caesars anymore?
Chaz Palminteri was down there doing the one-man Bronx Tale stand-up
Right.
show, the one-man show.
The one-man show, yeah.
So I happened to fall into some tickets.
Because that's actually his story.
Right.
Yeah, he's C.
Well, he was doing that show.
Right.
Got De Niro saw the show, and then they made the movie.
Right.
So this was a show he was doing that show, I guess, in the 80s. And now he's revisiting it and coming back to it.
Sure. Collecting some extra money on the way out.
So I fell into some tickets. I said, yeah, absolutely, I want to go see that.
Yeah.
Right?
Sounds like a good time.
Now, every Italian guy 40 plus with gray slicked back hair who owns a plumbing company and has a Gumata was in AC with his little hot 32-year-old number on the side of him in a tight little cocktail dress.
It was sequins.
There was a lot of hot Italian babes there, I'll tell you that. I was there with my dad.
Could have made a fortune just bringing packs of bubble gum with you and selling off.
Yeah, right? He's a handsome Polak.
There you go.
But we went down there. Ocean Resorts. Have you been there?
No. No, I've not been there.
It's pretty
I've not
cool.
been to that one. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. The casino floor is like they have it decorated or styled as like a pirate ship.
Okay.
So there's like flags and rafters flying through. It was kind of cool. The show, however, I was a little disappointed because I think if I saw this show in 87,
Right.
I would have thought it was the greatest thing ever.
Right.
But because I've seen the movie, it left a little something, like you already know the story that's coming.
You've seen the movie a lot, and the movie has had cultural impact too. So like everything you're going to see at the show now at this point, unfortunately, you've been swamped with.
Yeah.
Even like outside of the movie itself, like a million different people have given you now you can't leave, like all that sort of stuff.
The entire audience said now you just can't leave with him.
Right.
Which to me, it's a little corny.
Yeah, at that point, yeah, it's not a sing along.
Yeah.
Relax,
So,
let the man do his job.
But for free tickets, it was fun. My dad says, "Oh, we're gonna go eat at either this place or this place. That's the two spots down there.
Okay.
They're casual. We should be able to just walk in and get a table." I'm like, "Okay, I trust you. Sure."
Yeah.
Not thinking through, I know that on Saturday night you can't just walk in and get a table.
No.
But it didn't dawn on me. So we
Right.
go to the first joint, 45-minute wait. Second joint, 45-minute wait.
Sure.
I'm like, this is not good, man. I haven't ate yet, right? Because I've been fasting the whole day. So now it's like 7:30. We got a half hour to go sit down in our seats, and nowhere's feeding us. So there's one place left to try.
Okay.
And it was TWD fate that this place is where we got to eat.
Okay.
You want to take a shot at what you think it might have been? It's the stuff of TWD lore and legend.
Well, when you say it like that, I'm not so sure, but I'm assuming you wound up at like Carmine's or Angelo's or something like that.
That's a solid guess.
Okay.
But it's even more TWD than that, dude.
Were you at Tony Baloney's?
Even more so than that.
At McDonald's?
Wahlburger.
Oh, there you go. Wahlburgers is down there. That's right.
Yeah. So we walk up to Wahlburger, and the girl at the front's like, we got like a 25-minute wait. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, well, how about we just go sit at the bar and get a drink? She was like, well, if there's seats at the bar, you can sit there.
yourself out.
There's 2 seats right there, lady. So we sat at the bar, got some burgers. I had a half of a Heineken. I'll tell you, have you ever ate at a Wahlburger?
Twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good enough that you went back.
Well, yeah, but the first time that we had Wahlburger, they were building it at Liberty Heights, was going to be the first one at all in this region at all. And as they were building it, they had a food truck out front that was making the Wahlburger burgers, I guess to build up the hype. And it was New Year's Eve, and on New Year's Eve we had a habit of driving up to her parents' house when they used to live all the way out in western Pennsylvania. So we stopped at that food truck and got the food to go.
Right.
And it was good enough that when they finished the restaurant, we went back to the one in Liberty Heights and got and sat down and ate there.
I would say this. I wasn't mad that it had a decent burger.
Yeah.
Decent. I got some tater tots. The burger was good enough that if I had to eat here again, I wouldn't complain about it. Yeah. It was a solid spot. And gotta be honest, I was a little bit, not hesitant, but unsure. Like, it's a chain.
It's a chain. It's hyped up. It's a Stars chain, which is usually like twice as much of a problem.
Right.
But no, it sits right in that sort of like Shake Shack, Five Guys sort of level of burger.
It's there with him. I mean, we should have also, I shouldn't have, I mean, he's the OG TWD. I shouldn't have questioned,
Right. Yeah.
Was he going to put out a good product? The guy's standing by his product. It's got to be something
I mean, it's
decent,
his
of
brother,
course.
but yeah.
Yeah, but he's got his name
He's got
on
his
it.
cash in there, yeah.
He's got his name in the thing. He's got the
Of
Beyond
course.
Burger, Mark's Beyond
of course it
Burger
is,
or
yeah.
something.
The healthy one.
You dork.
Nerd.
There's no reason for a Beyond. If you want to be a vegetarian, eat vegetables. Don't come over here sullying the name of a burger.
I don't disagree with you.
know?
I find that to be weird. Like,
Yeah,
I've talked
I'm a
about that.
vegetarian, but I eat soy meat and Beyond Burgers
Well,
and
not
seitan.
the eating the seitan and eating the soy is one thing, but like, there's a Morningstar and they make vegan wings. Look, you made the commitment that you just don't want to eat animals. Why are you pretending to still eat animals? Just
it's
stop
weird,
eating
right?
animals.
Yeah. It
I'm
doesn't make
okay if
sense.
you've made that choice, but like it's really weird to go, oh, this is so unethical, but let me pretend like I'm still diving in on it.
Right. If you want to go vegan or go vegetarian, I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I might try it.
It's I've done it as like a once a week, like on Mondays, meatless Mondays or whatever.
Gotcha.
And you can pull it off. I can pull it off for a while, but eventually, like, I need a steak. I need something.
Yeah. You can only do salads so many days in a row.
Or even like, soy stir frying. Like it's good, fine, but like every now and then I need something, I guess, more dense.
Yeah, I'm not doing soy, I don't think, dude. I tried tofu once and I almost lost my tofu. I took one bite and I was like,
yeah, it's
like I was trying to like it.
You're trying to be. I believe you were giving it an honest shot, but with anything, it's in the preparation. I serve you the stir fry that I make. You wouldn't, and if I didn't tell you, you would just think it was chicken stir fry.
I would hope.
Like, okay, fine, that's good. But no, I'm not gonna serve you a block of tofu. Like you got to cut it like sticks of butter.
This was fried tofu that was supposed to be a wonderful appetizer.
No, it's like
and
it
was
a terribly unflavored marshmallow.
Oh man, it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
So, here's a question for you.
Oh, I love questions.
We're driving down the highway.
Okay.
And I see something there in the distance in front of me. I go, what the hell is that? And I could see what it is, and it says Q4 on it. I'm like, Q4? That doesn't look like an Audi.
Okay, or what Infiniti makes all the Q trucks too, right? Yeah.
Do they? I thought it was that Audi made the Q.
Well, Audi
Q4.
does, and yeah, they both do.
Gotcha. I'm like, that doesn't look like an Audi. And then the other side of the badge says stevia.
Oh, like the sugar?
I'm like, this is a sugar-free Q4? What the hell is going on here?
Maybe they won it in a contest.
We get close enough, and it's an Alfa Romeo.
Sure.
Now, from the side, from the back, an Alfa Romeo looks boring.
Sure.
From the side, it also looks
very boring. And you should see from the front,
same
boring?
Boring. Yeah. So I'm thinking to myself, like, what kind of dickhead buys an Alfa Romeo? Because the only reason that I think that you bought that is you went out of your way to find an Alfa Romeo dealership. Because Lord knows I don't know where one's at. And I've lived out here for 37 years. Well, I couldn't tell you where there's an Alfa Romeo dealership.
At the very least, that part's easy. It's across from the Morristown Mall on 38 where like Holman is.
Right.
There's a Holman Alfa Romeo.
There's 3 parking spots in Holman for Alfa Romeos.
They have the sign out front. So you can't park handicap there, but you can park an Alfa there.
And I'm just like, the only reason that I think, because it doesn't look like it's particularly quick. And maybe it is, but the way this guy was driving, it didn't look like he was taking advantage of the horsepower that it may or may not have.
So that's one of those things like it's got a wide range. So if you have the $100,000 one, you could have some quicks under you. If you have the $50,000 one, not so much. But here's the thing, right? 110,000%. The only reason he has that truck is because he looked around and was like, I have not seen anyone else with this truck. So I'm going to be that fucking guy.
I'm going to be that
because
dickhead.
The reality of Alfa Romeo at this point is that they're fucking Dodges. They're all FCA. They're all Fiat Chrysler. And if you took the two
Fiat's another one.
If you took the two companies in the history of automobiles and you could just say a name and go, oh, that's unreliable, it's Fiat and Chrysler.
Yeah.
And they got together and started buying stuff. That truck is also a Maserati, and it's also the Grand Cherokee. So, if he was driving around in the Grand Cherokee, you wouldn't have even noticed that he was there.
No.
And if he was driving around in the Maserati, you'd pay attention, but that's only because you don't know that Maseratis are now just Dodges.
Well, Maseratis are becoming they're way more prevalent than they once were at this point.
Because Dodge bought them, and now
they sell them for $35,000.
Exactly. They sell the Dodge Dart with a Maserati logo on it, and you're like, oh, it's a Maserati. Listen, the thing with Maserati is that it's been years since Maserati's been who you imagine that they are. Mm-hmm. It's been 25 years since they've used Ferrari engines in their cars. And that was the last time they were of any value. It's just one of those things like, oh, I didn't want to buy a Jaguar because people know what Jaguar is, but no one knows. But fuck you with your fucking Alfa Romeo. Get out of here with that shit.
That's what I'm saying. You only bought it to stand out. I've got an Alfa Romeo.
You bought it to stand out. There's one Alfa Romeo that's worth considering, but then when you really do enough considering, you buy the M3 instead because it's
Right.
the same class, price, all that other stuff. Performance is pretty equal, but then at least with BMW, you have a little bit of the sense of the reliability, which is still poor, but like you have a sense of it. You don't just buy it like, oh, well, the Alpha's in the shop again. Like, yeah, because it's a piece of shit. Because it's a fucking Dodge.
I've never known anybody who owns an Alfa Romeo.
Not since the 70s. Not since it was cool to own Alfa Romeo
No.
because they made little two-seater roadsters.
And in all reality, I hope I never know somebody who's bought an Alfa Romeo because I can't imagine it's the kind of pompous jerk-off that I want to be spending time around.
Like in each tier that it falls into, like if you bought the $50,000 one or you bought the $90,000 one, there is such a superior vehicle that you could be purchasing with that money.
Well, you probably get a free, like, Alfa Romeo, I can imagine, would give you, like, a free...
Handies. That would be the only way you'd even get me in the dealership.
A free hand job? A free HJ?
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe like
when you get your oil changed to pass the time.
like a nice leather toiletry carry case. You know, that's what I imagine
You
as
get an Alpha shaving kit that comes with
Alfa
it.
Romeo guy does a lot of trips he does a lot of business trips.
You get a little toiletry bag with hair grease in it.
Yeah, but he does a lot of business trips, but none of them are anywhere of value, and he's not really even doing
Right.
any important business.
No.
He's just doing, like, they send him to the conventions that nobody wants to go
Yeah,
to.
and he's not even running the booth. He's the second guy in the booth who's
Yep.
like, "Oh, we're out of pens. Can you go grab us some more?"
Yeah. Can you run to Office Max real quick? Yeah.
Just make some photocopies. It'll be fine.
Hey, what's up, cuz? Yeah, so, you know, you're not going to catch me in an Alfa Romeo.
I don't blame you. It's very low on my list as well.
I'll tell you what, pull out one of those cards. Pull out a random University of Dope card, and that's how we'll wrap this thing
All
up.
right, let's do it. I got a couple lined up. We'll do. You get to choose who rapper got killed on their own track or erase one person from hip hop history.
You got cards over there, or
I
you
got
just
two ready.
pulling...
No, I got two ready to go.
Okay, all right.
Two topics ready to go.
Erase one rapper from history, or...
Rapper that got killed on their own track.
Who got killed on their own track is...
Well, I got it's multiple choice from there.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
Whichever
okay.
topic you pick, I got possible answers for you.
All right, give me the killed on your own track.
Killed on your own track. Track A is Monster. The victim is Kanye West. The murderer is Nicki Minaj. B is Control. Victim is Big Sean. Murderer is Kendrick. Renegade. Victim is Jay-Z. Murderer is Eminem. Or Rampage. The victim is EPMD. And the murderer is LL. Now that's double homicide.
Yeah, I can't remember Rampage, to be honest with you.
That's fair. Also, I will say for that one, I think the difference of those four, the one distinction in that one is while EPMD is hip-hop history and their albums are phenomenal, I don't think anybody sits down and says those guys are lyrical geniuses. Like, I don't think anybody gives them high regard for their MC craftsmanship. It's more like the total package and Eric Sermon's production.
Yeah.
So saying that they got killed on their track is not as impactful as saying Big Sean got killed on his track.
Well, a lot. So the Eminem and Jay-Z on Renegade is often brought up about Eminem killing Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And I think that really that just came out of Nas saying it, right? Nas said it in Ether, I think.
I think he does
And
mention
Eminem
it.
murdered you on your own shit.
Yeah, I think he does mention that. I think,
so I think that came into the zeitgeist because of him saying it. I don't think that it's necessarily true that Eminem like annihilated Jay on that album.
I'm with you. I think the idea that M had the better verse existed before Nas said it, but as far as like it being, totally
like him embarrassing Jay-Z
I
is
don't-
just not the case.
That didn't happen. No, I thought
Plus-
it was very close.
Every time I hear that song, I think of Smoke Dogg rapping it as we were kids. Me and Smoke were like listening to it, and Smoke's like, I had to hustle, my back to the wall, ashy knuckles. And I can picture Smoke. The first time he did it, for whatever reason, we were probably stoned on dirt weed.
So Smoke killed Eminem on his own track. Then is what happened?
Smoke murdered Jay-Z on his own shit. I just think of I think of Smoke Dogg going ashy knuckles, which then makes it better, the best part of the whole song, because Smoke did it.
Right. So now that leaves you with Control or Monster.
Oh, there's Smoke right there.
There you go.
He's gonna tell me he's listening,
He's
but
listening.
he won't do it. He won't. I'm about to put him on ban.
Tell him to make up a login.
Nah, he's about to get blocked from the show for not participating in the live chat. You're toast, Smoke. That's it.
It helps the stats.
Friggin' guy.
It helps the engagement stats.
At least hit the like button, you know? Everybody who's here, hit the like button. All right, so then you got Monster.
Right. You got Nicki killing Kanye.
Is that was that what you think? No, that's Run This Town. Kanye killed the verse on Run This Town. Monster's a great beat.
Yeah.
But nobody really killed Monster.
Okay.
Nothing sticks out. I loved the beat, and I remember it vividly because I was in Free Killed Jay in What We Do, says Smoke Dog from the text in. Yes, that's true. Free did annihilate everybody on What We Do. Monster, I remember it came out when I was hanging in New Brunswick.
Okay.
And all I had was the transistor radio.
Sure.
So I was depending on Funk Flex to play joints. I was dependent on Angie Martinez to play joints for me. I was dependent on being able to stay up till midnight on Sunday to listen to Real Late with Rosenberg. So when Monster came on, it was one of the joints that I kept looking to hear because I heard it the first time and the beat was just so vicious that I was messing with it. Lyrically on it, nobody really impressed me. I'll never tell you that really Nicki killed anybody.
Okay.
She's a decent rapper.
Right.
But is she like some wild lyricist? If she did anything that was considered high lyricism, I question if she wrote it or someone else wrote it.
Because she's a woman. Then women can't rap.
We've already talked about this. If it's not Jean Grey or Ladybug Mecca,
right.
I'm not trying to talk lady MCs with you. Which leaves Control,
right.
Kendrick, and Big Sean. And I mean,
there was other people on that song too, but
but I don't remember them.
No, I don't either.
I didn't know there was anybody else. I thought it was a Kendrick song. I'm dead serious.
I'm pretty sure it was a posse cut all around.
Yeah, no, I'm dead serious. I thought Control was a Kendrick song. Because whenever DJs played it,
that's all they would play.
They just played the Kendrick verse. They didn't play anything else.
Because he went after everybody.
He said he was the king of New York or something.
Yeah, he went after the entirety of rap.
Yeah.
In that. So that would be my pick. Because, as we said, EPMD weren't really lyricists in the first place, so them getting killed on their own track by somebody who's a legendary MC is not, that's nothing you were going to write home about.
Right.
I agree with you again. The Eminem Jay-Z thing, even if you think Eminem had the better verse, it wasn't leaps and bounds better. It was better. I don't think Kanye's a good rapper, period. I think he will throw you some fun little cornball nerdy lines that you can laugh at, and they're good.
Yeah.
But I don't know where he gets the...
He ain't journalist.
He's not journalist's son.
Right.
I don't know where he gets... I know where he gets the respect for production, and I won't take that away from him, even though, he's kind of, for me, he's kind of taking a downturn. I don't know where he gets the respect for his emceeing, and a lot of people give it to him. I've never heard it. I've never heard a Kanye verse that was like, that entire verse is amazing. Like I said, there's some...
College Dropout was great.
Dropout is a classic album. The first 3 albums, he's one of the very few artists that I will give that 3-album set credit to. I'm not doubting his place in hip-hop history, but if it was just his raps over some other beats, I wouldn't have given a shit about College Dropout.
Yeah.
It's the combination of the two that was beautiful, don't get me wrong, but I don't think anyone is running around quoting his verses. It's the line here and the line there, or... the concepts. Occasionally, like Jesus Walks is an incredible concept.
2 words.
2 words is a great concept, but the other MCs on there are what make that thing ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kendrick doing that at the end of Control, and everyone in the world who cared about rap at all breaking their neck to pay attention to it.
Yeah. On
Big Sean's song, who even at that point in time was like, not only is he Big Sean, but he's apparently writing for everybody else that you like too.
Big Sean never did it for me.
I'm okay with him, but like he was.
I'm kind of prejudiced agast the name. Like if there's going to be one Big Sean,
I'm the only big. I'm
the only Big Sean.
But I'm Big Sean.
Yeah.
But like he was the guy. Like he was rapping. He was writing everybody else's raps, and then Kendrick just came, and that was after Good Kid, Mad City, but before To Pimp a Butterfly.
It was his jump off.
But it was the one where you're like, okay, Kendrick is a forever guy. You're not gonna. This is not just a right now guy.
Give me the multiple choice on the other question.
All
yeah.
right. It's producers, so we can have fun with that one. Erase one person from hip hop history: Timbaland, Pharrell, Dr. Dre, or Swizz.
Well, I know you're going to pick Swizz Beats because you, for some reason,
What makes you say that?
you have some kind of odd hatred for Swizz Beats.
Garbage.
I mean, I'm not saying he's good or he's not, but he has his place.
If he didn't have the benefit of producing DMX's first 2 albums, you would have no clue who he was.
Yeah, but you can't erase DMX's first 2 albums.
No, I can though. From the perspective of like, it wasn't like he auditioned to produce these albums and DMX picked his beats. It was like a forced union for him to be there producing those albums.
Right.
So it would be one thing if it said DMX was walking around listening to beats and picked all his beats. Then you're right. I can't divorce the two. But it was just like, here's the beat you're going to rap to, and now you're going to be DMX.
Yeah, but I'm saying
pretty sure DMX could have just put out an a cappella album, and you would have felt the same way about him.
I don't know that somebody else produces It's Dark and Hell is Hot, that it has the same impact that it had when it came in. Yes, DMX is going to be what DMX... He's going to be the dog.
He's going to be the dog.
Word on the streets is he went to the doctor, and he found out he's got that dog in him.
Right.
I pictured that being funnier.
Yeah, I understand why.
Yeah.
But he's dead now, so you got to be a little more respectful.
Fair enough. I don't want to... I don't want to erase. That was a very important album for me.
It's a tremendous album
in my hip hop career. Right?
It's a
top 20, maybe top 20 of all time album.
I could probably squeeze it in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't get rid of Swizz on that condition.
Okay.
Right, and I'm sure he's had other joints that I care about.
And the Rough Rider anthem is him.
Right.
He's got
well,
some
Rough
other
Rider
stuff
anthem's
locks.
off of
That's not on the.
It's on his second. It's on DMX's second.
That's on
Might be on his
Flesh
first.
of My Flesh.
I don't know. It's on one of the first 2.
Okay.
You can't. For obvious reasons, I don't know if it needs to be explained why you can't erase Dre from hip hop. If we got to explain why Dr. Dre has to be kept in hip hop and not have his whole catalog erased, then obviously you're into some other type of music.
You want to make a case for him? I can make a case for him if you'd like.
To erase him?
Yeah.
It's bullshit, though. Whatever case you're going to make is going to be so far-fetched and unrealistic, but go ahead, give it a shot.
Not necessarily. His beats are not special at all. The reason that you know Dre, and again, I'm only making this case because it's interesting to try to make it.
Yeah.
The reason you know Dre is because Dre worked with Ice Cube, and when he left
I'm just
Ice Cube,
another
he
nigga
worked with
from the
Snoop,
beach.
and
You
when he
can
left
tell
Snoop,
by
he
my
worked with
speech or
Eminem.
that salt
That's
smell
Eminem.
on me.
Got it.
You can
He's
see
got-
that I dropped the cousin Balk, not because Balk stepped in, but also because Payday is spewing a bunch of nonsense.
I'm not, though.
Trying to argue the other side.
You don't know a single Dre thing that doesn't involve a premier MC. So if you want to make the case that he's got a
the first Chronic album doesn't involve any premier MCs.
No, you're right. Snoop is definitely not a premier MC.
No.
And not at that time at all, no. Are you
Snoop's
crazy?
good, but Snoop's not a wild craftsman. Snoop's great, but Snoop is not a wild craftsman.
100% a game changer. The entire reason you know Bone Thugs is because Snoop.
Bone Thugs and Snoop are not anything alike.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
This is a wild conversation you're having with me. Bone Thugs is absolutely progression of Snoop.
No. You tell me how.
Tell me who.
Tell me how. Oh damn! I had it perfectly on my head and now I forgot it.
I'll give you a second.
You know that Snoop is so laid back and his delivery is so
calm
quiet,
and sing-songy and relaxed, and then you move
melodic
over to Bone.
I'll give you melodic
and sing-songy, and the whole flow is not just a rap flow; it's almost a singing flow, and that's. I'm not saying that they copied him. I'm saying it's an evolution of what Snoop did. And if Snoop doesn't do doggy style, they don't get a chance. And nobody goes to Cleveland and goes, let me get some singing rappers to do a song about their dead cousins.
Yeah, Eazy-E did. Eazy-E went to go get some singing rappers from Cleveland.
But if I was making the case to kick Dre off this list, it would be that his beats aren't that exceptional. It's that he knows who he should be working with.
Bro, maybe...
And that's part of it.
I'll accept that Dre's beats after the year 2000 are not that exceptional.
Okay.
But for you to say that the Chronic, the original Chronic, is not that exceptional?
The original Chronic is an incredibly exceptional album. And all of those beats are just, did you hear that song? You guys just go in the studio and replay it so that I can re-EQ it.
Yeah.
That's his beats. He doesn't chop. He doesn't sample. He replays.
Yeah, but that's what you're saying because
if we're making a reason to kick
negating
him off
his
this
skill.
list.
You're negating his skill set because it's a
No.
different skill set than what you have.
Well, no. What I'm saying is his skill set is strictly his ear, not his creations. His recognition of other people's creations.
And
Timberland creates his own everything.
Yeah.
Timberland, even when he's sampling, he's creating something entirely new.
You ever heard of a little guy named Quincy Jones?
Sure.
Whose main skill set is his ear? Now, he can play. Listen, don't give me the face. I'll smack that face right off of you. Knock that face backwards.
'Cause that's just water in that bottle, right?
Obviously, Quincy Jones is a phenomenal musician.
He literally composed Thriller.
Right. Here's where this starts, right?
Okay.
You don't become a phenomenal musician with the ability to compose Thriller without having the ear to do so.
I don't disagree with that.
The ear is your ear and your taste and that's your bottom tier skill set that you need to get in as a producer.
I hear you, but the difference becomes when Quincy Jones creates Thriller, he goes, okay, if we play this chord and then this chord and play it with these drums, that's going to sound really good while Mike sings over it. When Dre uses his ear, it's, hey, did you hear that Parliament Funkadelic song? Just play that one again.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
That's a big difference. He's not creating. He's just going, this is the best part of that thing. You guys who are really talented, go replay it. And then if I can't get you guys who are really talented to go replay it, let me get Scott Storch to come in here and play everything
happening.
he can, and I'll go, take that and take that. And again, I'm not knocking Dre. I'm making a reason why you could kick him off the list.
Here's what's happening with Quincy Jones and Dre. Let's keep going because I didn't like the way you looked at me.
We're in my territory
It starts at the only difference there is Quincy Jones is picking the best thing out of his internal catalog.
He's creating something new.
He's got 17 new things lined up in his head.
Yes.
He picks the best one.
Yes.
He's picking out of his internal catalog.
Yes.
Where Dre, who's I would say
is picking from Quincy Jones's catalog.
Which is but not only is he's not only limited to Quincy Jones's catalog, he could also go to the Parliament Funk. Yeah. He could go to Curtis Mayfield's catalog,
right.
Which I would argue is a better skill set because you have to pick a song out of that vast array of songs where all Quincy Jones had to do was pick out the one that he liked the best in his head.
Which, okay, if Dre was coming to the table like the way Premier does, where you say, okay, that sample came from a white choir in Minnesota that only put out 2 copies of an album ever, and he found this 3.5-second section that you could turn into this magnificent thing, versus, okay, he took the song that was number 1 from 1976 to 1978 and said, I'll bet that could be popular again.
Who else? But nobody else picked it. Nobody else did that.
That's not true. The only songs on the Chronic that you probably never heard those samples before are the ones that fucking Warren G produced.
No, what I'm saying is nobody else pulled those samples to make such a classic album.
Because he had Snoop.
It doesn't have to do with Snoop.
It has everything to do with Snoop.
It doesn't because I don't even love Snoop like that.
But you love Snoop in that setting.
No, I love the Chronic.
And you don't love Doggy Style.
I think maybe I've told you this before, maybe not. I don't think I've ever listened to Doggy Style in its entirety.
I think that's something you need to remedy.
Yeah. I got the Chronic.
You can't argue Pharrell off the list only because he's 135 years old and he's been
still doing
since
it.
The beginning. Yeah.
I'd probably have to argue to get Tim out of here. And I liked Timberland mostly.
Right.
But his style is so unorthodox, right? He had a sound that's so unorthodox, and you got to respect that he's created a sound that is uniquely Tim. You hear a Timberland beat, you recognize it, and you can say, "Oh, that's a Timberland beat." But it's not a style that I love. You know,
okay.
he's had some hits for sure. He's had some hits, but if you take away Missy's first album
Okay.
and, everything that Magoo did, I'm just not going to be that upset about it.
I'm not here for the Magoo slander, but okay.
If Tim disappears, there's not a song really that I can think of. Now, I'm sure there were some because he was on everything from 2001 to 2005. Tim had a song on everybody's album.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's something out there that I would be annoyed if you erase that from the...
It's got to be a couple, at least a couple Jay-Z songs, right?
Yeah, he was on the Blueprint. He had some bangers on the Blueprint.
He's got Gigawatt. He's got...
that wasn't one of my favorites.
Is that the one... is Gigawatt the one where he's talking to the girl? Shut the door, mommy. Come on in. Because that's Timberland also. If that's a different song.
Yeah.
I don't...
Come on, bitch. Shut the door. There's a drip. Come on in.
Right.
You go, what? Yeah, that's what it is. No, he was all over in that section of time, but none of them, nothing, just looking at it right now, right? None of it compares to the first two DMX albums.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking as a
whole project.
Don't erase the first two DMX albums.
Right.
Nothing, no big chunk of Timberland's career. Like, oh no, don't erase the joints that he did with Justin Timberlake.
That one album is pretty killer.
It is good. The joints he did with Justin Timberlake is good.
Love Sexy album is pretty damn good.
I stole a lot of cars to Timberland and Justin Timberlake, to be honest with you. Because, you got to listen to the radio when you're stealing cars. So
I hear what you're saying. Like, he doesn't have a whole project that you would miss. He has songs, like, you can't get rid of Pony. I mean, Pony's a fucking classic.
That was one of the first albums I had was the Genuine album. And I was a big fan of when he did When the Doves Cry remix.
You got
the
Ride or
remake.
Die, Bitch, is him.
That's my least favorite Lock song.
All right. He did some Memphis Bleak.
Well, I respect that.
You worked with Snoop.
I'll take Memphis Bleak over Snoop.
Listen,
and you know what? I went back and listened to...
If you want to do a jokey joke show, that's fine. We can do it that way.
I went back and listened...
over Memphis Bleak. There we go.
You probably would. You probably would. I went back and re-listened because you were awfully finicky about Memphis Bleak. Now, I know he's not top of the charts lyricism, wild craftsman of the art of hip-hop. So I said to myself, maybe I was tripping. Maybe I was under the influence of a lot of Dirt Weed, Peach White Owls, and Mad Dog 2020, and I thought that Memphis Bleak was a good album, and it was probably trash. Let me check back in on it. So I checked back in on it last week while I was at the yard at 4 a.m, listened to the whole thing through, and said to myself, no, I was right. This first Memphis Bleak album is a certified classic, and it bangs.
So I will tell you that it is possible that I'm too harsh on him. But also at the same time, I think if he wasn't under Jay-Z's flag, it would have been that first album, and then he kind of would have just faded away. It's Jay.
Well, he did. It was that first album, and then he faded away.
Like it's Jay who keeps bringing him back to center stage. And if he didn't have someone like that pulling the string, you would be like, oh, remember that Bleak, whatever his name was, guy? He had that one good album.
Sarabino's in the building.
So no,
he's a good man, actually.
I don't think Bleak is worthless. I don't think he's horrible. I just think he's more relevant than his skills dictate he should be.
Sarabino, what's good? Memphis Bleak and T.I. Round Here is a stone cold banger. I listened to that one too while I was doing my To Stay Alive in New York City. To stay alive in New York City. To stay alive, stay alive. I'm going to tell you who's irrelevant, though, who's associated with Memphis Bleak.
Okay.
The Ranges. The Ranges were all over Memphis Bleak's album.
Right.
And that was it. Nobody's ever heard anything from The Ranges again.
You might be right.
The Ranges were kind of like the Brooklyn Ram Squad. Except Ram Squad was a whole lot flyer and had a better run than the Ranges.
Speaking of the Ram Squad, and not that it's a one-to-one, I go on this one site to find out what the new releases are and try to grab up the new drops. And out of the blue this week,
the Ram Squad dropped an album?
Fat Cat Click. But it was just a reissue of like their album from 1996. And like, first of all, they weren't relevant enough in 1996 to have an album that, like, the re-release of this album, and it's not even like it's a 25 or a 30 or anything like that. It's just an hey, remember the Fat Cat Click? Here's their album.
Here they are again.
Actually, I don't.
Well, this is like the same idea as Chaz Palminteri doing his one-man show. Like, you know what? It's everybody else is releasing their old shit. Let me see if I can.
Coins,
Let me see if I can get a little stimulus package off of something that I did 30 years ago.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Like, the last thing the Ranges were even a part of was an 05 with Raekwon.
Yeah, I don't know why Raekwon would do that to himself. Pull one more card out, because now we got all the hip-hop boys in the building. We might as well keep talking hip-hop.
Give me a second.
I got Sarabino and Balk to back me up, so now you can't come with...
I don't know. Balk seemed to agree with me when we were talking about Dre. Go back.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He was even mad he had to agree with me.
Nope.
Something about agreeing with the liberal.
You're not a liberal, dude. You've said it. You've said it here. You've said it here that you're not liberal.
Only two of us he could be talking to, and it certainly isn't you.
I'm anti-political.
That's right. Let's see.
Just pick out any one. No.
Well, some of them are
searching.
Some of them aren't very good for.
I don't care how whack it is. Let's just do it.
You can only watch one show for the rest of your life. Which one is it? Yo MTV Raps, 106 in Park, Rap City with Big Tigger, or TRL?
Well, first off, let's get TRL out of there.
All right.
Obviously.
Okay.
Get it out of there.
All right.
106 in Park. Now, the benefit that 106 in Park has in this particular concept.
Did you get to listen to Mike Voss over and over again?
You get Freestyle Friday. They used to have stand-up comedians on there.
Right.
That Giannis Pappas ended that. He messed that up by he went like too left field, so they stopped having comedians on. You get a little bit of everything on 106 in Park, which I like that.
Okay.
Yo MTV Raps. If I was you, I think that would be the pick, right?
All right.
Because Yo MTV Raps, that was a generation before me. We didn't really have Yo MTV Raps.
No.
What we did have, though, that was our holy grail was Rap City The Basement.
Right.
Right? And I remember before Rap City was The Basement, it was just regular Rap City with Mean Joe Cleasy.
Right.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And there was somebody else. There was
Big Les.
Big Les. They used to kind of bounce back and forth. Like today, Big Joe Claire hosts. Next week, Big Les hosts.
Right.
Then Tigger came through, and he just created a whole new vibe. He brought it to his mom's basement, Miss Tigger's basement, and brought through everybody you wanted to hear. And Rap City The Basement was playing everything that nobody else played. And they were giving you stuff. The other thing is they were giving you stuff that was you never would have heard elsewhere because it was coming from the other side of the country.
Right.
When Rap City was doing The Basement, that was like it was before the internet really started taking off.
Yeah.
So it was kind of the last vehicle to get you hip-hop from outside of your section of the country.
Yeah, Big Tig doesn't even come in until 98. So you're at like 94, 95 where you're talking about the other hosts flopping back and forth. So
right.
Yeah, you're really before you just have access to the world at a blink of an eye.
Right. And shit like, wanna be a baller, shot caller, 20-inch blades on a Impala. We only knew about that because Big Tig was playing it on The Basement.
Right.
We didn't know anything about Houston. Nobody knew anything about Houston, really, until Mike Jones. Mike Jones got himself on a main stage, but if you weren't an underground hip-hop head searching for something, you didn't know Houston was popping down there.
No, not at all.
But because of Big Tigger, we found our way into that lane. So it's a no-brainer to pick The Basement for me.
Okay. I look at it. I got look at it two ways. And the one is, I don't think TRL is a horrendous choice because you'll get more. This is the only thing you can watch for the rest of your life, so you'll get more than.
You'll get more variety.
Yeah, you'll get spread out a little bit more. And
yeah, but it's not good variety.
It's not all good. There's some good in there. You'll get.
It's mostly pop music variety. Varieties of pop music.
No, you're right. You'll get whatever rap crossed over, and that's about it as far as that genre. And then, Yo MTV Raps would be just like, the throwback lunch hour all the time.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a benefit to that. Now, obviously, you look back on it with a filtered eye, and there's going to be crap on any one of these shows.
Of course.
Along with all the golden age stuff. But I think for me, there's going to be more crap on 106 and Park for my taste than there is on Yo MTV or even than Rap City.
Yeah.
So it would be between Rap City or Yo MTV Raps, and then the benefit to Rap City is I get the freestyles.
Yeah.
You don't really get that on
And
Yo
a little
MTV
interview.
Raps. You get occasionally you get interviews on Yo MTV Raps. Occasionally
okay.
you get guest hosts, but you don't really get the be prepared because once you're done with your interview, you're going to the booth to kick your 16.
Because also, who do you really want to deal with for the rest of forever? Ed Lover
And Dr. Dre.
or Big Tigger? I'm gonna lean towards Big Tigger.
I see. I mean, I can't argue that either way.
Yeah.
Neither one's the wrong choice.
All right, last one, and then it's a wrap.
You want one more?
That brings us to an hour and a half,
do
and we'll
one
call
more.
it on
You
the
gonna
last
do one
one.
more.
Let's see what's up with the.
All right, hold on.
Let's see what he got. Back, what'd you think about this low hat, dog? It's my summertime low. I got the ill windbreaker to match it too, but it's toasty up here. Whew.
All right, here, this is a good one for you.
Sarabino's coming in hot, talking. You guys are talking filthy about Dre. You're supposed to at least just pretend to back me up. Damn. All right, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Dre's not what I thought he was.
I told you, I don't think you have any business kicking him off the list. I'm just, if you want me to make the case, that's the case I'm going to make.
You could do it.
All right, you're a rapper. Remember when you used to be a rapper?
I once was. I was good at it.
I got you the tickets. Any stage you want.
Okay.
Who's your hype man? Spliff, Flavor Flav, Fat Man Scoop, or Lil Jon?
Well, we'll get rid of Spliff.
Okay, that's I 100%.
If you're unaware, Spliff Star was Busta Rhymes' hype man.
Right.
And he, from what I could tell, he did a good job at being a hype man, but
He was all right, but I think Busta,
he was a flash in the pan.
Busta even had better hype men, right? Wasn't DV one of his hype men too?
I don't know. I would say Spliff Star was a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
He never did much for himself. He made a career off of a couple of shows he did with Bus. So,
Agreed.
yeah. Fat Man Scoop, not your quintessential hype man either. He's a DJ, really.
He's a DJ, and to me, the main reasons I know him is
Fat Man Scoop,
Well,
Crooklyn Clan.
taking other people's hot beats and then just throwing like little screaming two bar sections over them.
Right. Fat Man Scoop, Crooklyn Clan. Yeah.
Right.
And that's really the only thing I know from Fat Man Scoop is that song.
And isn't he Let Me Clear My Throat? No, that's
DJ Cool.
Yeah.
I'll take DJ Cool as a hype man every day of the week. So it leaves us with two legendary hype men,
Right.
Flavor Flav and
Lil Jon.
Lil Jon. I think, well, it gets tough. That's tough, dude. Because Flavor Flav, right? Flavor Flav as your hype man, before he even breathes into the microphone,
He's Flavor Flav.
he's Flavor Flav. He walks on stage. The stadium shakes down to its foundation.
He made hype man a
Position.
legitimate position.
Yeah.
Before that, it was just your friends cheering you on.
I also feel like here's the downside to Flavor Flav as your hype man.
The crack.
Oh, no, you need a.
Besides that,
That's part of the hype man culture. It's been a long-standing, thing in the hype man culture that you do crack. It's necessary. It's where you get the hype from. You can't just pull hype like that out of thin air.
Not every night.
You got to smoke it out of thin air.
Sometimes you got to back it up.
Smoke it out of white powder. Here's the downside to Flavor Flav as your hype man is that Flav's he's later in his career. I think he's kind of a ball hog.
Okay.
Like he's gonna want to steal the show from you, and you need him to play
Right. We can't.
secondary.
You got to be playing second fiddle. The whole show can't just be 911 as a joke over and over again.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Lil Jon, I think he has some of that same. If you walk out and Lil Jon is your hype man, I think he gets a little bit of that buzz of like just Lil Jon walking out. You see those dreads and white sunglasses shaking their way across the stage.
Right.
I think if 100% of the crowd goes wild for Flavor Flav, 85% goes wild when they see Lil Jon. So you have that initial boost, but he's able to, as he's proven with the Yin Yang Twins and the East Side Boys
And Usher.
and Ursher.
And Luda.
Yeah, he's proven time and time again he has the ability to play second fiddle and really build up his front team. You know, like
Okay.
nobody. Imagine who the East Side Boys would be without Little John.
Agreed.
They would be nobody. We wouldn't know the
absolutely.
East Side Boys.
No, I agree.
We might not know Yin Yang Twins without Little John.
Agreed.
But we know them, and we know them as their own separate entities because Lil Jon does his job as hype man and boosts the crowd. I'm also from a generation where do the A-Town Stomp or From the Windows to the Walls sets a party off in a way more explosive fashion than Terminator X.
I don't think Terminator X ever set a party off. I think Terminator X, I think all the Public Enemy, you know, I don't have a bad thing to say about them, but I don't think you ever choose to put on a Public Enemy song at a party.
No.
There's only one time in the public eye that you put on a Public Enemy song and everybody goes fucking crazy, and that's 3 seconds before Mike Tyson comes out the box.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah.
I think I'm 100% with you, and even going even further into your thought process, you take Little John, because even when Little John feels like he wants to play first fiddle for the night, he can do it with his production,
Yeah.
right? So he doesn't even have to be any more than just what and yeah while his beats are playing, and he's really playing front man sometimes too with the beats, so he doesn't necessarily feel the need to have to do verses and be that far in the front of the stage. So I think of that list, I don't think the only thing Flavor Flav has going for him is
That he's Flavor Flav.
that he's more
The
iconic.
clock.
I think no matter where we go, if a guy with sunglasses and a hat and a clock comes out, everybody's just going to go, that's Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav.
I think a guy comes out with dreads and white sunglasses, a good portion of the people will know that it's Little John, but not everybody.
That's true. That's true. I can sum up Little John's skill set of hype man
Yeah.
by reminding you of
It's
one
the Dave Chappelle skit.
one young gentleman named Bone Crusher.
Oh, Bone Crusher, all right.
We ain't never scared. That was a hit. That was a heavy one, and I
From
think
the,
that was a Little John joint.
And he's from the whatchamacallit?
The East Side Boys clip?
No,
Oh,
he-
Dungeon Family?
Yeah, he's Dungeon Family.
Who? Little John?
No.
Bone Crusher?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
Maybe. From the chat, it was briefly suggested that maybe Jim Jones would be the top tier hype man. Now, I'll tell you where I want Jones at.
He can
I want-
open for me.
I want Jim Jones as my hype man when we go up to Hot 97 for a freestyle session. You know? That's where I think he shines as hype man in a freestyle kind of hype man way.
Okay.
Maybe not necessarily. I'm thinking stadium tour because that's the level of rapping that I was doing. But I think maybe Jim Jones is more of a like, hey, if you bring him along to your freestyle on Funk Flex,
Right.
one, Harlem's going to love you.
Well, yeah.
You know, and if you got Uptown with you,
You got a lot.
you got a lot going
You
for
can,
you.
yeah.
Got 10 people in the chat. Can you all hit the like button?
I think the only problem with having Jim Jones in that position is he's very good at it, and perhaps too good. I think one thing for me, and I know this is a generational thing, when I listen to freestyles, if the hype man can finish your line with you, it makes it feel a lot less like a freestyle, and it kind of like breaks the illusion, even though I know everybody's not truly
Yeah.
always in there off the top. But Jim Jones is the exact kind of guy who can call your shot at the end because he's knowledgeable like that.
Yeah.
And then it kind of kills the illusion a little bit for me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
But other than that, I got nothing against Jim Jones, and I think it's a solid choice in that manner. That's the only reason I wouldn't have him in that spot.
Bowling. Because it just got an influx of watching. You think we should do another one?
You want me to pull another card?
I guess. I was going to call it a wrap, but we just got an influx of viewers, so.
The chat rate went through the roof. Hold on.
Yeah. Tell them all to like it. Balk, tell everybody to like it.
Oh, you want to do another erase one person from
Also, if you showed up and you don't know us yet, go over to Thoro White Dude channel and subscribe there or subscribe here. We do knucklehead, motorcycle, BMX, rap content.
That's like our thing.
Ex-convicts.
Yeah.
And dad stuff
That
sometimes.
stuff.
We try and make it entertaining. We try to wrap it all in with storytelling and a couple of giggles.
All right. Since you think we're only going to do one more, I'll let you choose the topic, and then I'll give you the multiple choice. 'Cause
All
I
right.
got two that are pretty good. It's another erase one person from hip-hop history, or a which artist's career let us down the most.
Which artist's career let us down the most?
All right, here's your choices. Cassidy, Papoose, Jay Electronica, or Lupe Fiasco.
Papoose?
Papoose.
Lupe Fiasco played a pretty vital role in when I was doing a bid in 09.
Is that Kick Push? Like, is that first
That's the
album?
Kick Push era,
Okay.
but it wasn't necessarily Kick Push, although that
But
kept me moving.
that era
that
with,
kept me
with
kicking and
Pharrell.
pushing.
Yeah.
It was the song that kept me rocking and rolling was Little Weapon.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Little Weapon?
I'm sure I am, yeah.
He raps through the eyes of a child soldier. It's
Okay.
one of the sickest concepts, and I think that's what Lupe really has going for him is his like craftsmanship and his ability to really come up with a dope concept.
Right.
So I don't want to say he let us down because I think he had a solid amount of play.
I think he's got at least 3 good albums. Like, so if you have at least 3
Two.
good albums. 2? Okay.
He might have two
All right.
that I know of.
All right, so he's got at least 2 good albums, if not 3. So if you got at least 2 good albums, can you be a letdown?
No, I don't think so. So let's get him out
I
of
make
there.
more of a case that Method Man's a letdown than Lupe Fiasco.
Now, Papoose,
Papoose.
I don't know what he did besides a few freestyles on Cutmaster C mixtapes.
Right.
Like, I don't ever remember a Papoose album.
I don't either.
I do know, I mean, the highlight of his career was marrying Remy Ma.
And you know how you like your female rappers.
And Remy Ma, she could kick rocks, dude. The only Remy I fuck with is Red.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying?
And Martin.
Well, that's Remy Red.
Yeah.
Remy
no,
Martin.
I'm
the
not-
red kind.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't do the classy
I don't
shit,
see
dude.
color.
No, yeah, I do the Remy Red, dude. I keep it real, real 2002.
Yeah, I'm looking at the names of his albums, and I don't recognize the names of them.
No, I don't even recognize the name because I didn't even know who Papoose was. It threw me off. We've always called him Papoose. So that threw me for a whole loop and got me spinning from the beginning. And we didn't.
A lot of fucking mixtapes, though.
Got me spinning from the beginning. I like that.
That's bars.
Here's the thing. He's not a letdown because he never geared up to be a superstar. You can't say he let you down when he was never really gearing up to be anything other than a mixtape rapper who was married to Remy Ma.
Now, I feel the same way you do, except that as I'm looking through this, he was doing 4 mixtapes a year for like 5 straight years.
Yeah.
So somebody was expecting him to be a big deal.
Yeah,
Him.
no. The guy who just died, who was who was the beef MC, the beef DJ from New York. I can't believe I can't think of it. You know who it is. Who was the DJ from Hot 97 who just died like in the past year?
Funkmaster Flex?
No. He was way harder than that. He was like he was for the streets bull.
NYC?
Yeah.
DJ NYC?
No, not DJ NYC. He was on Hot 97. He was for the streets. Damn, why can't it? The Drama Hour.
K-Slay?
Yeah. K. Slay was hoping Papoose became somebody. Papoose was behind him. But I never was really into Papoose. So he wasn't a letdown because I never was
'Cause you weren't
expecting
waiting.
anything from him.
I gotcha.
Now, that leaves us with
Cassidy and
Jay Electronica. They call me Jay Electronica. Fuck that. Call me Jay Elect Hanukkah. Jay Elect Yamaka. Jay Elect Tramadan. Muhammad Assalamaka. Rasulullah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala through your monitor. My Uzi still weigh a ton. Check the barometer. Jay Elect Hanukkah, when Exhibit C came out, that was another one of those joints where I was doing a little stretch and I heard Cosmic Kev play it, and I sat by the radio faithfully every week after that trying to hear Exhibit C again because it was it was such a phenomenally crafted bars that I was like, yo, I gotta hear more of this. I need to hear this again.
Yeah.
And just solely off of Exhibit C, I don't think that it's been few and far between the MCs that had as much hype around them via their first song. Like, the only other MC that I could think of that had that type of hype around them from their first entry into the genre would be AZ when he was on Life's a Bitch.
On the Nas album.
Exactly. However, AZ went on to have an illustrious career, and he's still putting out joints that bang.
Yeah.
We're looking at 30-plus years later, he's dropping, they're not hits, but those joints still bang.
Solid albums.
And he's
Absolutely.
still one of my favorite MCs to date.
And rightfully so.
Now, Cass, on the other hand, everybody in Philadelphia was rallying behind Cass.
Swore he was a legend.
We thought he was a legend before we really gave him time to be a legend.
Right.
And Split Personalities and the other one before that, whatever it was called, he had joints, and he kind of had that beginning run to superstardom. Like, he had the R. Kelly joint with Hotel. He had the joints for the streets. He came back in the ringtone era with I'm a Hustler, and that was a hit, right?
The ringtone era, yeah.
But after I'm a Hustler, he kind of fell off into obscurity until he was brought back into the battle rap culture.
Right.
And from my understanding, he kind of failed miserably in the new school battle rap culture.
Okay, so I don't know from new school, but everybody swore he was a murderer in battle rap.
Well, he was at that time. Because at that time, in his era of battle rap, he smoked free. He took Freeway out. He left Freeway saying, put on a beat.
Right.
But in that era, your whole shtick was to just come with what your verses are that you already had read. Like,
right, it wasn't really freestyle.
It wasn't tailored for the guy standing in front of you.
Right.
You brought Cassidy into this new era and you're trying to put a 1973 Alfa Romeo up against the Subaru WRX from 2007, and it's just not the same kind of matchup. Obviously, he's not going to flourish there.
He can't work in those circumstances.
So I think we were let down by Cass. I think Jay Electronica was a letdown also because it took him 10 years to come out with another album, and that album that he recently put out with Jay-Z was not what I was hoping for.
No,
that was a major letdown. For matter of fact, I'll say Jay Electronica was more of a letdown because Cass at least gave you some stuff. Jay Electronica gave you Exhibit C and then didn't really give you anything else of the same value that Exhibit C had.
Right, and I think with Jay, like the world was committed to the fact that he was going to be the next big deal, and it just never happened. Like Exhibit C, you're right. Exhibit C was everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, well, wait till this guy's album comes out. You guys are going to go nuts. And then it just didn't.
Right.
It just didn't happen.
It didn't come out. And then when it came out, he couldn't get Jay-Z to give him a classic album.
Yeah.
He had that joint. It was him and Jay, which I tried to listen to, and
it's too much hype. Like you're too invested in it being amazing, so now you're nitpicking it the whole time, and like you can't even live up to the hype that you created for yourself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But no, I think it's Jay also.
Had some bangers, especially on the mixtape, and then poof, he was gone. Yeah, he just kind of disappeared. But I think all in all, he gave us more in his window of time than we got from Cassidy. Gave us more in that window.
Catalog, at least.
Yeah.
Jay gave you 2 tapes over 15 years.
Cousin Baxter's still listening to the Nostra album. Since we've given it to him,
it's nonstop. Every used car on the lot has it in the deck.
He's got copies in every car. Y'all ever heard Nostra? All right. Well, I'm going to sit here and continue to drink my volcanic water.
It's definitely yours. I see your name on it.
Yep. Because one thing that I haven't been doing, I just remember too many rappers with Jay that were already supposed to be the next to already know how that goes.
Like Memphis Bleak.
Like Memphis Bleak. I'm almost on my water, which means I need to go find a volcano close by in order to stay hydrated for the rest of the evening. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to get myself a nice cup of Talenti.
Oh.
Madagascar vanilla bean.
There you go.
I'm going to dump half of it into a blender.
Put it in with some protein powder.
Add 2 scoops of muscle milk protein powder. Splash of almond milk. I'm going to grab my salted caramel cashews and I'm going to call it a night.
Not the coconut ones?
Like I say every time around this, every week around this time, Pay should have already had on the exit music by now.
I never know when you're carrying us through. I haven't heard that your +1 gets a +1. I don't know what's happening.
But he's slacking on his macking. 90, what's happening? Missed the first hour, intrigued by the description in the video. I'll check it tomorrow. Yep, I sunk a dirt bike. Everybody have a wonderful evening. I'm going to head out to the shed and with my wife's blow dryer and try and air out all the electrical connections on my KLX. Hopefully I can get back on it this weekend. I don't know. Boys, we appreciate you coming through. Hit your like button on the way out. You know where we're at next week at 8 o'clock. Right here. If you haven't gone to the Thoro White Dude page, go there and subscribe to that. We're trying to get it popping. I'll see you when I see you. We're up out of here.
I used to wild off them bombing fluid.